Throughout history, there have been many serial killers. And it's usually pretty hard to catch serial killers. Because if you get away with it long enough to earn that name, then you're probably smart enough to avoid capture indefinitely. But today, we're going to look at the funniest ways that some of these serial killers have been caught. Lonnie Franklin was an American serial killer who was responsible for at least 10 murders and 1 attempted murder in California between 1984 to 2007. Franklin earned the name Grim Sleeper after he took a 14-year break from his crimes between 1988 until 2002. Before he started committing crime again in the mid-2000s. Franklin eventually got caught in 2010, but the way he got caught is pretty funny. The police had an undercover police officer pretend to be a waiter at a restaurant where Franklin ate. And the officer used Franklin's dishes and pizza crust from the trash to obtain saliva and DNA that linked him to the murders. And he ended up being arrested and sentenced to death for each of the crimes he committed. Ted Bundy is one of the most popular serial killers in American history, known for killing 30 women during the 1970s, and he eventually got arrested in 1978 after he stole a car. And the officer noticed him loitering and driving erratically, so the officer ran the plates, and he found out the car was stolen and pulled him over. Even after this, Bundy gave the police a fake ID, so for 2 days they thought they had some guy named Ken, but Bundy eventually told the police who he really was. And in 1989 he ended up getting the death penalty. Now many of you probably know serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, known for killing and dismembering 17 men and boys, between 1978 and 1991. And he eventually got caught after his last victim was handcuffed in Dahmer's apartment, and he asked Dahmer to go to the bathroom. So Dahmer unlocked the handcuffs, and the man punched him in the face, and ran out the door to get the police. Dahmer was sentenced to life in prison but was beaten to death by another inmate in 1994. Dennis Nilsen was a Scottish serial killer who murdered at least 12 men and boys between 1978 and 1983 in London. But the way he got caught might be the strangest on the list. Because Dennis had been flushing part of his victims' bodies down the toilet, and people in the apartment building had been complaining about clogged and smelly drains. So when the police came to check it out, they found out what Dennis had been doing, and he got arrested and sentenced to life in prison. Nowadays it's very easy for serial killers to find potential victims through the new technology. After Daniel Drayton was arrested for holding a woman hostage that he met on a dating app, and it didn't take police long to connect him with other victims. Because they were all in his Tinder history, so I guess he wasn't smart enough to hide his evidence. But after seeing how all these serial killers got caught, comment which one you think was the funniest, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.